Hey everyone, I'm Yvette Lloyd, host of Life Her Podcast. Today on Life Her Podcast, we are joined by a radiant force empowerment Candace Tell. She's a dynamic serial entrepreneur, award winning community champion, and she's a visionary founder of Empowering Queens, a nonprofit devoted to helping women prioritize their well being and walk confidently in their purpose. Through her love for fashion and a mission to uplift women, Candace uses her style as a tool to healing and self love. She is also the heart behind a consulting firm that she is going to begin to start pretty soon, and is a powerful brand created in the honor of her late brother that reflects in the commitment and the building legacy, confidence, and light. Whether she's mentoring young girls, launching creative ventures, or raising her incredible daughter, Candace lead by joy, authentic, and purpose. Get ready for it to be inspired by her journey, her heart, her vision, and her help of women everywhere to shine brightly and boldly. Hey, Candace.
Hey, girl.
What's up, girl?
Oh man, living a dream.
That's a blessing itself.
Yes.
Definitely. So we're gonna get right into it. So Candace, you've accomplished so much, award-winning change maker, fashion advocate, and founder of Empowering Queens. But before all the titles, who was Candace before the beginning of her journey?
Oh man. Who was Candace? Candace was a lot, okay? I have lived a lot of life. I have been many things, but I was a young girl that was confused about the world, confused about myself, confused about who I truly was before the world told me who I should be. I lacked self-awareness, I lacked self-confidence, even though most people would have never believed that because I always been loud and bold, even struggling within. And I lack self-love. So like that's who Candace was before all of what you see today, which took a lot of work, like a lot of work behind the scenes.
I bet. So because you're so vibrant, you know what I'm saying?
Thank
you
you.
will you literally light up a room, especially with your smile. How could you like give advice to someone that is lacking that in the areas, and how do you even just keep going and continue to be yourself even with life throw you a curveball?
So I would say because I only speak from like my self experience. I may speak a little bit from things that I've learned, but I really go off of lived experience. So for my lived experience, which helped me build my organization, the three pillars of my organization is mental, spiritual, and emotional well being, and that's what I had to tackle first in order to overcome everything in my life. Once I figured out how to heal myself with different tools and different people, those connections and friendships and all those different things, that's when life started to shift for me. And the first thing I did was heal spiritually. I got invited to a church back in 2014 and it shifted my life. And even though I'm like not a constant churchgoer today, but those 4 years that I spent in church helped me build a relationship with God that helped me build a relationship with myself, which helped me change the trajectory of my life.
That is amazing. So, like, what inspired you to step into the world of advocacy and empowerment for women that, was there specifically of your turn point of life?
Oh yeah. So I always known that I was here to help. That's what I have done my whole life. And even when I was not my best self, even when I was out here young and wild and free, I always was a helper. I always was a supporter. That's always what made me smile. But the shift happened for me in 2013. I was 27. I'll never forget. I was 27, and that's when I just got to a point in my life where I was like something got to shake, like something got to change. Like I knew in my heart since I could remember that I was greatness. Even when I doubted myself the most, even when self-doubt and low self-esteem talked to me constantly, I still just always knew that God destined me for more. So in 2013, I was 27 and I was just like, I want different. So even how I got invited to the church, it was a group of girls, like one was my cousin, one was my friend, and one was a cousin of my cousin. And randomly I had different conversations with all these women at different points, and so we came together and we created an organization that was a mentorship group for teen girls called Ladies of the Future. So that's when I first stepped into that role, right? Of course, working with women, you know how that go. We had to dissolve that after like a year. We try to keep it going a little bit, maybe like a year and a half, but within doing that, I knew I still wanted a nonprofit. I knew I still wanted to do work. I knew I still wanted to give back to my community. So I would mentor these girls every Saturday. We would pick them up every Saturday and pour into them. And I was still seeing some of the same behaviors. So once I was still seeing them same behaviors, I asked myself why. And I was like, because we still sending them home to broken mothers.
Yeah.
Because no one has programs for mothers. Everybody is creating programs for teens. Mothers can call somewhere and get their rent paid, their light bills paid, and call, get food. They can call and get those necessities, but they can't call on nobody to help them with their emotional and mental well-being. So I said, that's what I'm going to do. I felt that it was a gap. It was definitely a gap in my life. I needed it badly. So I think I was going off of my need and then that lack that I was seeing out in our community. And I said, I want to be that woman that I needed.
You know, that is amazing because, you know, when I had my girls program, I know most likely probably a lot of my moms needed help too. But it's like it takes a special person to do that.
Yeah.
It takes a really special person. And you know, we can only do the walks that God has put on us to do. And I applaud you for even just noticing that and taking the steps to even do that. So, with you openly sharing your story and triumph over your challenges, what has been one of the hardest lessons you've learned and how did you grow through it?
Oh man. One of the hardest lessons I have learned in life is that loving yourself more than you love everybody else.
Oh God.
People don't like a lot of times when I say stuff like this, people's eyebrows raise and I get funky looks. And I mean, even more than your children. By me being a mother, I say a lot of things I think sometimes that rub mothers the wrong way, right? Or rub people that's not mothers and desire to be mothers the wrong way. And because from my lived experience throughout my life, and then just watching like my ancestors, like my grandmother, great grandmother, my mother, all of them, I watched them put everybody before themselves. And I didn't see a benefit in that. I didn't see them actually getting what they wanted out of life, what they desired out of life. I didn't see a benefit. So I was that person as well. I was living my life the same way. It was always what can I do for everybody else? What can I do for everybody else? So I was never pouring into me. That cup was dry, bone dry, but I thought I was being amazing for everybody else. But I'm a firm believer in, if your cup is not overflowing, you're not good for anyone. I was not good for anyone at that time that I thought I was, and I was just trying to change people, and I just needed to change myself. So like radical self-awareness and radical self-love is what has helped me immensely. Like literally loving myself. I did not love myself when I was young at all. Couldn't even tell you really what it was. Wow. So that journey of figuring out who I was to the point where like I love me down bad now. Like real bad. Like it may affect some relationships, but it's just like I feel better about the decisions that I make, the boundaries that I set. I had never set a boundary in my life. I had never seen any women in my family set boundaries in their life, and still don't to this day. And I just really started setting hard boundaries about a year ago. but it
Wow.
has been life shifting. So from that lived experience, like I will die on a mountain about it. Like you have to love yourself more than anybody walking this earth, even those kids that came out of you. You know what I'm saying? Because when you love yourself real bad, you gonna love everybody else naturally. I feel like it's just a natural
Yeah.
flow. It just naturally flows like a waterfall. Fill you up
Yeah.
first. Yes.
Yeah, it's an attraction too when
Yeah.
it comes to you loving yourself, because when you in a like in a lower space in your life and you not feeling too good about yourself, you are around people that notice that, and
Mm-hmm.
they take advantage of it and everything like that. So once you start to elevate and start loving yourself more and start recognizing things about you, you recognize things about other people. And
Listen.
seriously, and one thing that I learned is people do not like you loving yourself.
Oh no, they
Uh,
don't.
they hate it with a passion. They call it cockiness. You
Tell you
acting
to be
funny.
humble.
Yes, they tell you all types of stuff, and it's like, no, I'm putting me first, because it's taken away how they could like misuse you. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And what I've learned is you lose value when you're so available to
Mm.
people. You lose value when you so giving and so caring and everything, and your value like decreases so bad to a point your respect, that person, they don't respect you no more.
Man, if
And
that ain't the
then
truth.
yeah, so so after the fact of you dealing with stuff like that, you're the worst person in the world and you never done nothing for them, and
Yep.
you're I mean, you're everything but the child of God at that point.
Yep. So, soon as people can't use you no more, soon as people can't use and abuse you no
Yeah.
more, you are horrible. You're the scum of the earth. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? And they are trying to tear you down. And if you don't have that self love, you will start to believe it. You will start to question your true
Yes.
identity that you already know. I done questioned myself before off of what somebody else said. Then I had to check myself like, girl, is you crazy? Like, you know who you are. They don't know you better than you know you. But you got to make sure that you know you better than anybody. And when
Yes.
I was younger, I didn't, because I was still trying to
Mhm.
figure out who I was, because the world and my family and everybody always told me who I should be or who I shouldn't be.
Yeah,
You know, so and then that taints you from being able to walk in your authentic self.
it
If
does.
you doing or acting as what everybody say you should do or should be, like you following all these lines and not following your direct path, you're not living as your authentic self. And I made a vow to myself within these last 3 years that I will never not be my authentic self. It is what it is. You take it or leave it.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
and it's true, and it makes you feel good. But it makes you feel good because once people are removed from your life, you notice the blessings that start to pour into your
Yeah.
life, because God didn't want them to be there at that moment when he was going to give you something, because he knew what could happen, even though we will never know. But it's just a lot of times with us moving forward and elevating in life, it's just a natural thing. It's like no hard feelings, no hate or
Yep.
nothing like that. It's just I'm walking for God and me.
Yep. Yep. I always tell people, I have had many friendship groups, and I have never fell out with anybody.
That's
Maybe
a blessing.
one person might say I fell out with her, but like out of all these friends, I never fell out with them. I just naturally grew apart from them. That means we just like
Yeah.
naturally stopped calling each other. We just naturally stopped hanging out with each other, because that's just what God seen fit. I was
Yeah.
growing one way and they might have been growing the other way, and no hard feelings. Still
Yeah.
love them to this day. It's just
Yeah,
that
me too.
God needed other people to come in my life in this season
Yeah.
to help me go where I'm going. And I do believe that I'm just that type of person, and my life is just going to be like that. I had to accept it, because I was like, dang, why I don't got friends that been my friends for 20 years and stuff like that. And it was just like, because that's not your walk. That's not your walk. You're gonna always have a new group of friends, maybe every 5-10 years. I don't know. But I feel like God always put the right people in my life for the season that they're supposed to be there. And that's why when we do go our separate ways, it's never bad blood. Because I
Yeah.
don't like to create bad blood with, not even in romantic relationships. I'm like, just go your way, I go my way.
Yeah. Make the peace.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So your nonprofit Empowering Queens, it focuses on helping women rise. What does true empowerment look like to you?
So true empowerment looks like to me is allowing someone to show up as themselves and giving them the tools to become a better them, not a better not what society says, because I believe that I believe a lot in individualism. You are
Yeah.
you. I nothing I don't want to teach you how to be Candace. I don't want to empower you to be me. I want to empower you to be you. So that means with your gifts, your talents, your traumas, your pains, because all that shapes us, right? So I want to empower you to be able to overcome those traumas and those pains so you can walk into your purpose and fulfill out your life's duty. So that's what I want to empower you with. That's why I focus on those 3 pillars, because I feel like if you're empowered in those areas, like everything else gonna come naturally. Finances, like once I healed myself, like I don't know how. I really don't know how. Like I just got better jobs naturally.
Yeah.
I was in different rooms naturally. I met better people naturally. And I think that goes back to what you said earlier. When you love yourself in a certain way, it radiates that way.
It does.
And when I was younger and I was broken and I was just doing whatever and doing whatever for everybody, my value wasn't seen as what it truly is. But once
Yeah.
I healed myself, God was like, okay, now it's time to put you in those places. Now it's time to give you the more finances. I ain't to the point of wealth where I want to be yet, far
Yeah.
from it, but I'm far from where I once was. You
That's
know,
great.
so I think that all comes into play. You know what I'm saying? With that is because I feel like things just naturally flow to you when you heal yourself. Like
It
healing,
does.
and you're gonna be always healing, right? I feel like healing is not a
No.
stop. It's
Yeah.
constant. But if you do the work and you constantly doing the work, man,
Yeah.
it was so life changing for me, and continues to be life changing for me, because I'm always healing. Because I'm always reinventing myself. I am, but I love it though. I really do.
It's a beautiful feeling and healing. Even with you having women understand that is it's gonna be hard.
I know. I
It's
know.
gonna be probably one of the hardest tasks because a lot of people don't they naturally give to people and they naturally do certain things because it's what society told us to do
Yeah.
or it's what they see on social media, things like that. So they think they're supposed to be that way. So tapping into yourself is like probably one of the hardest, most difficult things because it holds a lot of accountability when you do that. And you
Yes.
may not like certain parts of you that you didn't even know that existed. So when you working on yourself, you will, believe it or not, it comes with attraction as well. It comes with the attraction of friendships and even men,
Oh yeah.
because other people have certain aura to them, certain spirits in them that grasp them of the attraction of you at that moment when you're unhealed. But
Yeah.
once you get healed, you're not attractive no more. They don't attract you no more. So that's just it's just a level to it, and it's really not personal. I wish people won't take it as personal as the way they do, but it's really just on you. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it's so
Yeah.
good that you're gonna teach women that because it's so hard because we just been programmed into just one thing,
Man.
straightforward.
Straight, like, and every day, like, I'm t- I feel like, God speak to me in so many different ways, and a lot of it is through social media. I know a lot of people don't like social media. I love social media because I use social media to my benefit. Like, so I learn so much and get so much, and I know, like, when it's certain videos that pop down my timeline and it's speaking to something that I'm having a conversation with God about, that's something God want me to see. So with, you know what I mean? So with that, I pay attention to the different like things that I hear. And I feel like a lot of people right now is trying to break out of that
They are.
societal norm. Like if people are jumping out of that box, and I love that, because I believe that's what we have to do, really, if we want true healing. And I, like you said, and I'm not fully into my organization, how I know I will be within like the next 5 years. And I know it's going to be an uphill battle trying to change women's mind. Cause I once was, you couldn't change my mind about nothing. You know what I mean? Hey, this is what I know. Listen, this is what I know, and I stand on it. But now I'm just trying to look at it like, is that whoever that I'm supposed to impact in whatever moment it may be, whatever room I'm in, that's okay. I don't have, because I would, before, say I go to a room and it's 20 women in there and I feel like I didn't impact anybody, like I would go home and beat myself up and be like, oh well, maybe you shouldn't be doing this, maybe people really ain't listening to you,
they're not ready.
Yeah. So now I ask God, I say, listen, every room I go in, I say, God, at least give me one. You give me one, I'm good. I know that I was there for a reason and I wasn't there in vain. In these last 2 events that I did, both times, one lady out of each one person. And I was feeling that way before the one person came up like, oh, was they really listening? Because, people talk and stuff. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not really engaging them. So I start to, go into that, that negative self-talk, like, okay, what I could have done different and all like that. And he sent me that one person every time. And I'm like, and I just say, thank you. You know what I mean? That continues to show me that he is real and he listening, because that helps me keep going, because I know that I'm supposed to be doing what I'm doing, and I can't let self-doubt kick it out of my mind,
No, you can't. Even though you having self-doubt and you having those feelings, believe it or not, when you heal from every experience that you will have difficulties in, you'll be surprised, as the more you elevate, the more people can relate to you. It's like you a testimony for someone else that's struggling with something. Yeah. That's why I love like the things that I've went through in my life, because I can help someone that is currently in that situation at that moment. It's sure. Like we can't take that away. So you could just, girl, listen, you gonna be all the way together in a minute. I'm telling you.
Listen, I always tell people, even before like me and you actually like knew each other. I think we just followed each other on social media, and I knew of you. But when you had started going through like your losses that you took and your grief, I will always tell people like, she is amazing, because ain't no way. Like, ain't no way she just still get up. And I know, it's human. So I know you was still dealing with stuff. But I'm like, she's still getting up and going after loss, after loss, after loss. Like some people will be in a loony bin.
Oh, yeah.
So I literally.
I was on my way.
Yeah. But you made it through, right? You made it through. Yes. So I looked at that and I honored that. And that just showed me tenacity, and honestly, I will be honest with you, like, even not knowing your story internally, but just knowing it externally from like social media, I will use that as like courage sometimes. Like, hey, if she could get through losing her mom, then her husband, I'ma shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to shut up and I'm going to navigate through these hard situations. I'm not going to give up on myself. So you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, like, from my personal stuff, like, you being able to navigate through it, even though it was hard, even though it's a constant thing that you got to navigate through, like, just that within itself, if it gave me courage, I could just imagine the other people that is giving courage, because it definitely gave me courage. And because I had to navigate through like the loss of my brother, that was a lot. But I'm like, hey, if she can navigate through all these hard things, because I'm that type of person. I believe in, if they can do it, I can do it. And I want you to believe, and I believe if I can do it, you can do it too. Listen, girl, whatever I can do, you can do.
That's how it's supposed to be. Listen.
And I'm like, so listen, that helps me get through hard things all the time, and seeing what other people can overcome. Because I just believe that's how we're supposed to operate. We're not supposed to operate in the spheres of like jealousy or nothing. When I see somebody getting through hard things and doing amazing things in life, I'm motivated. Like, let's go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Really, another Black woman? Oh, bet I got this. We got this. Like, And I want
Yeah.
and I want somebody else that is in shoes that I once was in to feel the same when they see me. Like,
Yes.
okay, if she can make it through here, okay, I can too. Yep, I can too.
Mm-hmm. And it's refreshing, very
It
refreshing.
is.
So speaking of just women uplifting each other and all that, like many women struggle with confidence and identity. What are some of the tools and practices you recommend for women to rediscover their worth?
So I would say a couple things that help me. So release, I believe in releasing. So like for me it's journaling or writing. I always, even when I was young, wrote in notebooks, right? So I write somebody a letter in a heartbeat that wronged me. I will write a letter. I done wrote my mama letters that she had never see. You know what I mean? I done wrote a lot of people letters. So like releasing and just daily like getting your thoughts out, number one, right? And then doing those practices that you may feel are like childish or maybe feel like they're above you or like I don't want to do that, that's corny. No, do those corny things, like literally get in that mirror and talk to yourself. Like
Mm,
I literally put notes on my mirror. I had, excuse me, motivational sayings on my mirror, affirmations on my mirror. That stuff works. I don't care how stupid you think it looks. Like talking to yourself, that self-talk, just like those negative things you tell yourself, reframe your mind and tell yourself those positive things, and it truly honestly works. And I believe in, listen, when you look better, you feel better. Yeah,
yes.
I know it take a little work. I know it take a little time. I know you got them kids running around and them your priority. I know you got a job. I know you got all those things. But wake up 20 minutes earlier and do you a 5-minute face. Fix your hair. Put some clothes on, because literally, and I have lived it and continue. Like if I and say I'm already having a not so good day, right? If I hate my hair or I hate the way I look, my day gonna be worse.
Yeah.
It just is. Now I could be, somebody could been and made me mad, but I look in that mirror and I love the way I look that day. I'm like, okay, cool. We can navigate through this. I'm about to you know what I mean? I just feel like, I really feel like you can navigate through so many things when you do have that self-confidence. And I don't want people to think that like the fixing yourself up is vanity. It's not. It's
Mm,
really personally, it helped me build my confidence. When
yes.
I was younger and I let the world take my confidence away, I always knew they couldn't take away dressing from me. I had that forever. I'm gonna put it on, and you can't take that from me. You can say I'm fat, you can say all these things, but you can't never say I can't dress.
Yeah.
So that's what would make me feel better. That's how I would build my confidence. Is like putting outfits on and going somewhere and be like, oh, you look cute, and I'm like, okay, cool. That's another little confidence builder. So by doing that, that helped me be able to have my own self-confidence where I didn't need those outer voices anymore. No matter if the outer voices were positive or negative, I just truly believed in me. So that's one thing. But the main thing, which I said earlier, is self-awareness. When
Yeah.
you become self-aware, it boosts your confidence, because you know your good, your bad, your uglies, your blind spots, your triggers. Once you figure that all out, you become confident in yourself, because you know you. I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of times we lack self-confidence because we don't truly know ourselves.
That's
We
true.
know who our mama told us to be, who our grandmamas told us to be, who our teachers told us to be, who social media tells us to be, who society tells us to be, but we never fully tap back into who we knew we were. I always tell people, a practice is to go back to your inner child. Like your inner child is your true self. If you could go back to that 5-year-old girl, what was that 5-year-old girl doing and loving before life started knocking her down? Because
Yeah.
that's how you get back in touch with your true self. And that's something that I'm actively doing this year, when I'm doing this revamp of my life, my last year in my 30s, child. So
Oh,
yes. So I'm revamping, but I'm revamping by tapping back in to Candace, before Candace was a mother, before Candace ever had to work a job, before Candace was told she wasn't smart enough, before she was told all these negative things about herself, who she was and what she loved, and how did she identify herself. And that within itself is a confidence booster. Cause you go back to like, when you a kid, can't nothing dim your light. Can't nothing dim
No.
your light. Your mom tell you go get dressed. You gonna go put on a Mitch Mac shirt, pants, and shoes, and can't
Yeah.
nobody tell you nothing.
With some
Right?
rain boots.
Okay. And ain't nobody be able to tell you nothing. So you just gotta tap back into her. Like tap back into that love that she had for herself. And it's liberating to even be on that journey. I'm like actively being on that journey now, even with no matter what life is throwing me. Like when I think about that, I'm like, man, like, hey, she been the truth. She really, like, you know what I mean? And be
Yeah.
okay with saying that. Like, I used to be so uncomfortable with honoring myself. I
Yeah.
was so comfortable.
That's me
I dimmed my light
all
because
the
people
time.
told me I should. I'm
Yeah.
like, I dimmed my light for years. When I tell
Me
you all
too.
of my 20s and some of the 30s, because people said it was too bright. But not in
Yeah.
that way. People would, hey, if people condemn me,
Yeah.
they would do it quick. They would
Yeah.
do it so quick.
Why you post that? You shouldn't post that. You shouldn't wear that. You should. I'll be like, oh
Man, listen. And
yes,
when God
you be
told me,
doing too much.
it started off. I would never ever forget. I can't remember how old I was, but from that first time that somebody told me these words and multiple people told me these words was, you think you're better. From that moment, I dimmed my light because I never wanted nobody to think I was better than them, because I never felt that way. So since they couldn't see it internally that I didn't feel that way, I made sure externally, okay, when I go to, and I would do for different rooms. Okay, if I go in this room with these people that think I'm bougie, I'm about to let me dim that real quick, because I don't want them to think that I'm bougie. I don't want them to think that I'm better than them, because I just want to kick it with them. Like they, like, you know what I mean? They don't
Yeah.
understand. Like, I'm a multifaceted person. Like, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
just want to kick it with them. So I would automatically just dim my light all the time. And I was just like, I can't do that no more. You know how uncomfortable and unhappy I
Yeah.
was doing that? I was miserable. I was miserable
Yeah.
doing it. All because of
You
somebody's
lose
opinion.
yourself.
Oh,
Yeah, you
yes.
lose yourself, fall into a deep depression and everything. I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So
Yeah.
you've mentioned fashion on so many occasions of that recent question. So you use style as a form of healing and self-expressions. How do you believe fashion plays a big role in boosting confidence and mental illness wellness when it comes to individuals to really understand and grasp it even more than what you've already explained?
So I believe that fashion allows you to show your true identity and be yourself. So fashion tells a story, right? Um, so I say, if you, it's different styles. So if you dress bold or you a minimalist, like you may be introverted and you may not want to catch everybody's eye. So you may be a minimalist. So that means you may have a uniform. Like I wear black shirts and structured blazers and jeans, and I wear this same loafer or pump, because you want to kind of like downplay yourself, not downplay yourself, but you don't need all the attention. You don't want it. You know what I mean? But you may be bold and you may be into mixing patterns and prints and
Yeah,
colors and accessories, but that helps you tell your story. That helps you, that's your voice without saying a word. You
yeah,
know, it introduces you into the room before you open your mouth. So that's why it's like, people used to say back in the day is your calling card. Like how you represent yourself in your fashion is
mhm,
your calling card. So I feel like that's why it's good for your well-being. Because I always tell people, whether you want to believe it or not, or whether you want to admit it to me or not, when you
yeah,
are not taking the time to put yourself together, I know you're struggling with something mentally. I do.
mhm,
Because
yeah.
you can't tell me, and really as a woman, that you don't like dressing up and looking good. You do.
It's a lot.
You do. Hey, you do. You enjoy it. So when you just look disheveled and you look like you're not putting no interest into yourself, like I'm the friend that's gonna be like, girl, what's going on? I want to know what's going on, because my mind automatically goes to they struggling with something.
Yeah.
And now I could do better with my delivery sometime on asking you this, but I automatically just think that you're struggling with something mentally, that you're not valuing yourself enough to show up as your best self. And I get that fashion is not everybody's thing. I get everybody can't afford a stylist, but you can afford a consultation for me to just give you a little bit of time to say, hey,
Hello.
girl, let me or a closet, you know what I mean, order, let me come over and show you how to work with what you got, or let me show you how to put these pieces together because it's not your wheelhouse. Or even if you just get a styling or a consultation just for those certain events, when you go to these big events and you need to represent yourself as the true woman that you are. I always think of women that are like dynamic, powerful, dynamic, brilliant, intelligent women, but the way that they represent themselves within their fashion choices, you would never know unless they open their mouth, right? But you don't get to have a conversation with everybody, but everybody in the room gonna take a look at you.
Yes.
So you want to represent yourself to the point that even if I wasn't able to verbalize my intelligence, I'm still able to show up in a room and say that I am who I am.
Yeah.
And that's what fashion does for you. It
It does.
represents you without using your voice. And I feel like is a part of healing, because I feel like when you start to heal yourself, even if it's not your forte on maybe putting the best outfits together, but most people can put themselves together very well, but they don't take the time and the attention to do it. They don't prioritize that. They put that on the end, the back shelf, and everything else comes before that. And I kind of want them to just change that a little bit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it could come second in your life, maybe third, but let it show up a little sooner. Because I'll say it old school, it's your calling card. It's your voice before you open your mouth.
That's so true. Cause when I was in high school, I got best dressed, but it was like somewhere in my 20s, I just really stopped dressing all the time. I think
Yeah.
because I did it all the time and I just got tired of it. As long as I had on some clean shoes and a cute purse, I was cool.
Yeah.
But it's so crazy because recently, after my mom passing and stuff, my mom was into fashion.
Okay.
So now I be like, what am I gonna wear? So I got so many clothes put together, and I was a tomboy at that. I
Mm-hmm.
like to dress comfortable. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
me too.
saying?
Me too. Believe it
Yeah.
or not, I do. I love a
Yes.
jogging set. I love a jogging set and a sneaker.
Yes, but it's like now I will wear a jogging set with some heels,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe even with a button up blazer, a shirt, and with a blazer and a
Yeah.
Yankees hat or
Yep.
something. I just still have to have that tomboy look. And I'm
Yeah.
just now getting to the point where I could just put a whole tomboy outfit together and I could just mess around and just throw some heels on with it.
Yep. Look, elevated. I call it elevated streetwear.
Yeah,
So that's your elevated streetwear look. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I'm actually, before I had a kid and couldn't afford it, I'm actually a sneakerhead. When I was young, like I spent all my little paychecks on sneakers, and I shopped in the men's department. But I call myself a very eclectic dresser, because one day I could be in my streetwear, the next one I'm dressed to the nines, next one I'm dressed business or business casual, because
yeah.
I just love clothes. I love clothes, shoes, purses, accessories, all of the things. And I always have. I play dress up in my mom's closet all the time.
Girl, me too. That's why I've been working out so I can get in her clothes.
Girl, listen. And I can think about the time of my life where I was struggling with my confidence, and I was just struggling with like life and being in survival mode, and I was not dressing. But I had nobody in my life to notice that, like, oh, like Candace
Yeah.
ain't putting it on. But I had became a leggings and t-shirt girl at a point in my life. So
Oh,
that's
me
how I
too.
know from lived experience that sometimes when women just give up on their outer appearance,
Yeah.
it's something internal. And it was something
And
internal. I wasn't loving myself.
what I learned about leggings and a t-shirt too? You don't even know if you gaining or losing weight. And
Oh
weight
no.
weight done increased so much because
But you
you've
can
been
still fit
wearing
them
this leg.
leggings.
Yep, you can still fit them, and it's like, man, it's like, dang, because you go to fall into a whole nother, like I fell into a whole depression. I had gained so much weight, Oh
Man,
my
girl.
God. You know what I'm saying? And it takes over you, but it's like I'm not wearing blue jeans where I could button up and I could
Right.
go like, dang, it won't even go like this no more. It's like this.
Girl, then I started buying the stretchy pants where the top is just stretchy, and they was all
Yes.
pull on pants. They was all pull on pants. I'm telling you, and you don't know. You don't know till that
No.
one day you go to the doctor and you be like, damn,
Yes. That is
damn,
true.
yes.
Yes. So speaking of like depression and like dealing with grief and stuff, sorry for your loss of your brother.
Thank you,
How has grief shaped the way you live, lead, and create today?
man. So grief was different for me because I was fortunate enough to go throughout life for a long time without losing anyone. Um, I was what 32, yeah, because my brother was 30. So I was 32 when I lost my brother. I lost my brother in 2018. And that was the first hit I had took. So like for that to be the first hit and it be such a heavy hit, um it was difficult. But I'm a person that I had to actively work on this. I call it mastering the okay. I mastered the
Mhm.
okay when I was young. I mastered the okay when I was young. So to the point when I lost my brother, I thought I was okay. What made me realize that I was not okay? My brother had, he would have times where he would be in and out of jail. And before he died, my brother had only been out of jail 7 days, seven or 11 days, 7 or 11 days, I can't remember. Um, and so I was used to him being incarcerated. I'm used to saying like, oh, when he come home. So it was probably a year after he had died, and I would say that without even knowing that I was
Mhm.
saying that. And one day my sister was like, stop saying that. And I'm like, what? She's like, you keep saying when he come home. And I'm like, damn. I was like, I didn't even really fully process it as he was gone forever because I'm so good at mastering the okay that
Yeah.
I processed it like this boy was in jail. But unknowingly, I did not like the brain is so powerful. My brain and those protective factors that build into ourselves did it on its own. I didn't have to do
Oh yeah.
nothing.
No,
My
you
brain,
don't.
my brain said, okay, we know how to master the okay. We gonna just act like he in jail.
Yeah.
So I had to, so then that was a year. So I had to go back and like say, no, you got to fully grieve now. Go back through the full process and make it like it was the first day I got that call. And I had to
Mm.
go through that whole process and truly understand that he was gone and never coming back this time. He wasn't just away for a couple months or a year. I would never see him again. And that was hard. It was
I
hard.
bet.
And I'm such a person that like I care about how other people feel. And the hardest part was caring about how everybody else was navigating through that because I know I'm built a little different, right? I know God has blessed me immensely to have the resilience that I have, but I knew my mother and my siblings don't have that same resilience. So
Mhm.
I would grieve more for them than myself.
Mm.
And really my mother, watching somebody lose their child hit different, you
Yeah.
know, it really not understanding if they truly have the tools to navigate through it. So what I said I would do is I always believed in this. And I say I'm a firm believer in trying to practice what you preach. So
Yeah.
before I lost somebody, I will always tell people that lost people, right? And they would be broken for years. And I believe don't die with the dead. Like I believe that. So I would tell people you can't die with the dead. So if you are hurt that you lost your mom, you heard that you lost your dad, you heard that you lost your siblings, I would say honor them. And this was before I lost anybody. I would say honor them. So once I lost my brother, and I'm like, okay, you grieving, you know what I'm saying? You mad, you sad, you all these things, but you gotta practice what you preach. So
Mm.
I literally just within that grieving process when I had to re-grieve and I did well and I accepted it and I accepted that he was gone and I accepted that he wasn't coming back and I accepted his journey before we even lost him. I felt like I lost him a little bit. So I accepted all of that, but I went back to conversations that we have had, things that I know he valued within me and things that I value within him. And I said, I'm going to honor him. And so one thing that me and him had in common was we love fashion. We the best dress out of the kids, like, you know what I'm saying? Me and him put it on all day, talk about clothes all day. He steal my clothes, steal my shoes, never give them back. So, and then my brother could be in very dark places in his life, which I know he was, even if they wasn't told to me, and he would still smile. And his smile was contagious. And I believe that my smile is contagious. And I believe that, thank you, that both of our smiles brightened up a room. And girl, I will never forget, it was 4 a.m. And mind you, I was being in thoughts of creating a clothing brand. And I was like, okay, this clothing brand is going to honor my brother, because he would just think that was so dope. Like him looking down on me, he'd just be like, oh man, she created a clothing line. Like he would just think that was so dope. So I was like, I'm gonna create my brand. And I didn't want to just create a clothing line under the brand name. So the name is my brand altogether. Everything I do from here on out will fall under that umbrella. So 4 o'clock in the morning, I was up and God gave me the name Illuminate. So with a play off of the word illuminate, because illuminate means to brighten up a space.
Brighten the space.
So since our smiles brighten up the space. And then my brother was born on 8/18/88. So 888. My daughter was born on the 8th, and 8 means abundance. So I want you to let your light shine abundantly. Like my brother let his light shine abundantly, even going through his darkest times. So that's what my brand means, and that's what it represents. So that helped me with that grief process, is by honoring him and doing something that he probably would have loved to do if he was still able to be here with us.
That is so sweet. And it's so funny because it's so weird. So a lot of people that I've had conversations with that has lost someone, they we always do like a clothing brand or organization or foundation, like just different things like that. And it's such a healing journey when you do something like that, because honoring someone, it's like they still exist with you. And sometimes people be like, they're here with you. Sometimes that I don't think people really understand that's really hard to even just be like, oh, they're here with you, or they in the spirit and all that. That's difficult. What I'm saying? So having something hands-on of you having a clothing line and things like that, it just brings so much joy to you and brings so much pressure to a point. You about to dominate it. You know what I'm saying? You about to put on for it. It's like motivation. It's the same thing what I did with my podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Me and my mom was going to start it together. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that, it's a lot. That's amazing that you're doing that, and you're going to find yourself, you still going to have your moments because you're human.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it's like, it's something about when you experience death and you have the spirit that you have, you will like develop some sort of superpower.
Listen, I'm trying, because I just want everybody to be okay. And I just think about like, I really, you know what I'm saying? I really just try to remember like all the good moments. That's why I take pictures. I always will. I love memories. Like, and so when even though it make me cry, but like when I just missing him, I go look at his pictures and I think about all the ignorant stuff he used to say to me, all the ignorant stuff I used to say to him, like in the encounters that we had. I always tell people this as a joke. Like I joke and say it, but my brother will always call me for a ride frantically. Man, somebody did something to me. Come get me. Like he the little brother. So we was his, like, I'm big sis. I'm his protector, even though he a boy. Like, don't play with my brother. So, my brother died Monday. He called me Saturday. It was like, come get me. I got gas money. I'm a trash talker. Everybody know I talk trash. So I'm like, you better have my gas money too, because he would never have the gas money. He would tell you he had the gas money. He would never have the gas money. So like, you better have my gas money. Girl, so I went and picked him up. We went over my grandma's house, and then I ended up dropping him off. When I dropped him off, he really gave me my gas money. And I always tell people I should have knew he was going to die.
Oh, man.
I'm like, I should have knew something was going to happen because he have never gave me my gas money in his life. And he actually gave me my gas money. I couldn't believe it. And
Man.
I didn't resonate it then, but like once he died, I was like, that's crazy. He really gave me my gas money. It's just those things you think about.
It be like that.
That make you laugh. It make me laugh. You know what I'm saying? Instead of making me sad. But and I just, you know what I mean? And I just think about that smile. That's so anytime I'm feeling sad, I'm like, man, that dude was a clown. And we used to call him an angry bird. He always be talking trash about something, mad and talking trash, but then in the next breath I'd be like, oh, we cool, you know what I'm saying? And that was just our rapport with each other. So I just think about that, like, so I had to do something to honor him, because I'm like, I can't walk around grieving and sad but don't do nothing to honor him, you know. So yeah, I had to do something.
So with you having a nonprofit and now you can do this fashion thing. So tell us a little bit about this podcast you're going to launch, because I'm putting it out there.
Put it out there. Put me on the spot. Put me on blast, because I need it. I need you to put me on blast.
The way you've been dragging it.
Dragging, okay? Dragging it. I'm not dragging it no more, because I just don't want to operate in life anymore not doing what I'm supposed to do based off of fear. So and God have been giving me too many signs and just too many random people saying stuff about my voice. And the last thing that made me be like, okay, Candace, quit playing. I go back to social media. God talked to me through social media, and I was watching a clip of something, and I had literally was just having a conversation with God about what's next, like what's this reinventing Candace looks like now. And it said your voice is your currency. And I was like, okay, that's that. Hey, that's you. You should have been said that. You should have been said that, because let's be honest, you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, I got it. So I'm starting this podcast. It's been on vision boards for about 4 years now. So, like, you know what I mean? Logo been made. You know what I'm saying? Episodes, I done wrote topics for episodes. So I will be launching this podcast. Vet is going to hold me near and deep to it. And the podcast is going to be Talk and Tell. So I'm gonna talk a little bit and I'm gonna tell a little bit. I definitely want it to be conversations. I love conversation. I love different outlooks on life. I love different opinions. I love giving my opinion. So we're gonna just talk about, I'm gonna give you all my opinions, my unsolicited advice, and we're gonna talk about life. That's yeah.
Well, we ready. I ain't gonna say I've been ready, but I've been ready.
Listen, I'm doing it. I promise. Because listen, I promise myself. Listen, I can't talk about the self-awareness and the self-love I have and not walk into my purpose and do the things that I'm supposed to do.
You got to.
Yes, I'm doing this for myself, and I know that God want me to do it. So hold me to it. Don't let me just talk.
Don't worry, you're gonna get a random inbox. Don't worry about that. So,
thank you. I appreciate it.
So what do you want your daughter to always remember about you and how you and what you stand for?
Oh man. That's one, because you know, she 19 and she don't think I do nothing. She be like, I don't know, you just be at meetings and stuff all the time. So but one thing that I want her to get from me, if she don't get anything else from me, is how to be resilient and understand that anything that you go through, you can get through. Every single storm, every single dark cloud, even if it's the baddest, you on your knees bleeding, you can come up, patch those wounds up, and keep going. That has been a testament of my life. I know my life has not been as hard as some people, but it has been hard for me in a lot of ways. And I always have been able to get back up, because I don't know what else to do. You know, I really honestly don't know what else to do. So I really want her to get that if she don't get nothing else. You know, I don't care if she don't like me. I don't care how she feel about me. I want her to understand that in life, you're going to go through some hard things, but you can get through all of it. All of it. You don't ever have to give up. give it. You don't have to give up. That's the last thing you have to do. And you can navigate through hard things. Yeah.
Yes, you definitely can. Listen,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
for sure. So, for the women that are listening right now, even some of our men that's listening who feels lost and unsure about their purpose, what would you tell them?
So I would say go inward. Go inward first. We look for a lot of outward and external validation. We look for the world to tell us what to do next, even on social media. What's the next trend? What's the next hot thing? What am I supposed to be doing right now? Um, Me too. You know what I mean? I've been that way too. But one of the best things that I ever did for myself, and I believe one of the best things anybody, men, women, can ever do for themselves is go internally, dig deep within yourself and figure it out from there, and then let the external things, because I believe, some external things should influence us in different ways, but be so secure within your internal self that can't nothing outside of you rattle it. Don't let
Mm.
nothing outside of you rattle who you truly are. If somebody look me in my eyes tomorrow and tell me I'm the worst human being walking this earth, I'm gonna look at them like they're crazy and walk away,
Listen, you
because
better.
I know who I am internally. So no matter what
Mhm.
you say about me, I have heard some things about me from people, and
Girl,
I
you
be
and
like,
me
for
both.
real? I be like,
You
for
and me
real?
both.
And
What are you talking about, Willis?
and sometimes I scratch my head like, hold on. And before I became super self aware, I would have believed them, because I would
Yeah.
have believed their opinion. But now I'm like, nah, that ain't me. And I'm sorry if that was your experience of me. And if you would allow me, if you want me to change it, I will. But if not, I'll let you roll how you want to roll,
Mhm.
because going internal will shift your life.
And
Doing
it
that
feel
internal
good.
work will shift your life.
It feel good.
Oh man, it do. It
'Cause
really do.
I feel damn good.
Yeah. It's unexplainable. It's really
It is.
unexplainable unless the person you're talking to can understand it. I just and since I'm like actively still just doing it, like I just feel so much better. Even when I'm still human. Even when I'm still having those human moments, them
Mhm.
human experiences, I still can revert back into those tools and be like, man, this is amazing. That I love myself a way I never have before. Never have
Yeah.
before. Man,
It feels good. And you know, experiencing watching my mom take her last breath and finding my husband unconscious,
yeah,
it just changed me. Like, whoever think they knew me before 2019, you do not
baby.
know me no more.
Listen,
You absolutely do not know who I am.
at
Like,
all.
I'm a completely different person. My tolerance level is different. I get triggered differently. I remove myself quickly. It's just so much that comes with it. And the way I see how life can be so short and can
Man,
be gone like literally the next day.
snatched away from you. Like,
I'm not letting nobody take minds away from me.
no,
I'm not letting them take my energy or even convert me into a negative mindset,
yes.
into depression, sadness, none of that. If
Man,
you in
listen.
my life and you start making me feeling that way, I will never speak to you again.
Bye bye.
Yeah,
Bye
I
bye.
won't.
It's
I
too
will not.
it's too short, and
It is.
you gotta live. I'm like, I lived so much
Girl.
life not living. I lived the majority of my life surviving. I refuse. I
No.
refuse. I
Mm-mm.
refuse. I can't do it. I
That's
said,
why I told you I'll be
I done gave
gone.
survival too many years, baby. I
Yes,
gotta live. I can't do it no
girl.
more.
That's why I said I'll be gone every weekend. Friday night, I'm gone. Like,
Yes.
I'll be. I don't care.
Experience life.
I don't care if it's a 5 hour drive
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not even a flight. I'm just making sure I go somewhere because it just changes you. It even changed me of dealing with the grief on how the things people say.
Yeah.
Um people will say some ignorant stuff, or people will say things that's unconsciously not knowing that they're saying
Right.
it. Like like they say, I'm sorry for your loss, but I'm here for you if you ever need me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say that.
Because it's just a natural thing to
Yeah,
say. Everybody
it's a
say it, so
natural
everybody
thing to
say it.
say. And
Yeah.
but I feel like people should take precautions on certain things that they say when people
Yes.
are in those moments, because you may look at that person like, I do want you to be there for me. I do want you to check on me and everything. But it's like when the first 2 weeks of a death and the 2 weeks after burying them,
Yeah.
everybody goes on with their life.
Disappear real quick.
Yes, and
We didn't
you
even. I
can't.
didn't even have 2 weeks after my brother died. They was gone, girl. They was barely
Yes,
there. And to be honest, that made the death harder. I'm gonna be honest. Like I grieved
right.
him, but I grieved the people that didn't show up for me.
Yes,
Oh man, I was mad.
I had no one but
Oh,
my cousin Nicole. That I didn't have nobody really. It's
and
like
my mom
and
didn't
I
have nobody. That hurt my heart.
yeah,
I was like,
but
"Where's all
you
these
can't.
people?"
No, but you can't be mad at them.
No, you can't.
I
You can't.
can't be mad at them because they have their own life, their own
Yep.
experience, but it will come a time when they experience it too. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But it's like you just can't be mad at them. But like being in those moments alone by yourself, crying,
Man.
hurting, thinking suicidal thoughts,
Yeah.
like why me, I shouldn't be here, like it's just so much stuff that go through your mind to
Yeah.
make you lose your mind and sit, girl, I thought I was gonna have to go to the fifth floor
Listen.
somewhere or
I
something.
bet you did. I
And
bet you
it's
did.
just, I don't know, it just changes you so much. The focus that people will have, or the perception they have on me or anything that I'm doing, it's not even my focus. I don't pay attention to nobody. I don't
No.
care what they doing, where they going, nothing. I barely even scroll on social media. And
Yeah.
it's like my mind is somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's just somewhere else. I'm trying to be a multimillionaire. I ain't
Okay.
doing nothing
And
else.
and he is.
Yeah,
Listen. And
yeah.
that's the goal, baby. Listen, that's the goal. Because
Yes.
listen,
I ain't
that's
even
how
gonna
you
say I'm
change lives.
trying. I'm not even gonna
You
say I'm
are.
trying. I'm
You
going to
doing.
be one.
You're going exactly. You're
I am
doing.
going to be one.
You're
And
active. You're actively doing it.
yeah.
Actively doing it.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
But
Listen.
it's just always possible. And I just always want you to keep going and keep thriving, and stop self-sabotaging yourself when it comes to you executing your
Yeah.
brands and doing the things that you do, because you're very gifted.
Thank
You're
you.
gifted. I always told you, you have a voice for podcasting. I can see your podcast even maybe even surpassing mine's. You know what I'm
Thank you.
saying? That's what we wanted to do, because we need to hear more genuine, passionate, good women on these podcast shows that is really speaking their truth, and how and know how to treat people.
Yeah.
You know how to treat people.
I
So
try.
seriously, as long as you try, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've always had a great experience with you, so I can't speak on how other people feel. That's personal to them.
Yeah.
But the way other people will love you, it's a world full of people.
Yeah.
Like, and I realized that even with me podcasting, my podcast is literally in different continents of
Yeah.
people listening to it, and all over the, like literally all over the world. And I don't even know what some of them be saying.
Hey, but listen,
But
they listen and
if
they
they
tuning
listen,
in.
they
That's
know
the
what I'm
goal.
saying, and they
Yes.
tune in. But it just feels so good meeting so many people all over the world or being on my show. And I just want you to be able to experience that too, because you deserve it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I truly do.
You do.
I look. I'm gonna do the things. I'm gonna do the. I ain't standing in
You
my own
better.
way no more. I ain't standing in my own way no more. Look,
You
don't stand in
better.
your own way.
Yeah, because I've been looking for you on TikTok with your fashion,
I
because
know.
you
I've
was
been
when you was
slacking.
blowing up.
I
It
know.
was
I've been
blowing up.
slacking.
It was going. Your numbers was numbering. And then you
Listen,
just was like, womp.
I know. Then I get a job.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you just gotta prioritize your time when it's time for you. You know what
Yes,
I'm saying?
yes.
You could do a whole day of content or working on certain things that you do. You gotta make yourself available for you.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what this pivot, this new life pivot is doing. Like focus. And I said it every year. I said, and I do start doing it little bit by little. But like
Me?
now, I was like, listen, I ain't playing with. Listen, I ain't playing
Listen.
in these 40s. I tell people, listen, this I will be 39 this year. That means I got one last year in these 30s. When I turn 40, is gonna be the best time of my
Oh
life. I
yeah.
don't. Oh, the
40,
best time of
40
my life.
40s is amazing. So far, I'm 41. I already
Listen,
know what I'm shoot. By the time I'm 45, I'll be where I want to be.
no, but for
And
real,
it's
but for
it's like
real,
it's a great feeling. It
yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
It is. But girl, go ahead. But let people know how to contact you if they want to be a part of your nonprofit organization, and also how can they follow you or even get fashion tips.
Okay. So Instagram, we have a Instagram page for Empowering Queens, which is empowering.queens. My personal Instagram page is big_fly_beauty, big fly beauty. TikTok, I'm big fly beauty. Facebook, Candace Tale. You can connect with me that way. And we do have a website as well for Empowering Queens, empoweringqueens.org. So you can go on there, see what we got going on. You could drop me a DM. I'm open to DMs. We got different events, different ways if you want to become a donor or a community partnership. I'm very, very big on collaboration. So any of those ways you can get in contact with me.
Okay. Well, thank you, Candace. I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity to be on Life Her Podcast.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Life Her Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and also listen to Life Her Podcast on all major platforms audio.